In the heart of the bustling Godric's groghouse, the air is thick with the scent of roasted meat, spiced rum, and the undeniable tension of unspoken rivalries. A minstrel plucks a lively tune in the corner while gamblers throw dice with reckless abandon. The barkeep, a grizzled dwarf named Thrain, polishes a tankard, his eyes scanning for trouble. From the shadowy corner, a cloaked figure catches your eye, their gaze sharp and intent as they motion subtly at your group.
I've got a bad feeling about this, I mutter, flicking my fingers to conjure a small flame that dances above my palm. I stride towards the shadowy figure, the fire casting ominous shadows on the walls, ready to ignite the situation if needed.
I grip my shield tighter and step in front of Pyra, keeping my eyes on the cloaked figure. Stay behind me, lass. I don't trust shadowy types.
I slip into the shadows, silently making my way around to the back of the cloaked figure. I'll see what secrets you're hiding, I whisper to myself as I prepare for a stealthy approach.
I lightly tap my holy symbol, casting Detect Magic to unveil any hidden dangers or enchantments surrounding the cloaked figure. Whispering to the group, I intone, "The veil of life is thin. Beware what lurks beneath."
The cloaked figure's mouth curls into a sinister grin as Pyra approaches, their eyes glinting with malevolent intent. Suddenly, they fling back their cloak, revealing dozens of glittering daggers strapped to their body, each infused with dark magic that resonates under Seraph's spell. In a blur of motion, the figure hurls a dagger towards Pyra, aiming for her heart, but Thoradin's shield intercepts it with a resounding clang. Meanwhile, Wisp, now behind the figure, deftly plunges a dagger into their back. The cloaked assailant gasps, then slumps forward, their eyes wide with a mixture of shock and pain.
Good catch, Thoradin, I say with a wicked grin. I raise my hand, the flame now growing into a blazing inferno, and hurl it towards the cluster of gamblers' dice on the table to create a chaotic distraction.
I slam my shield down onto the nearest table, sending dishes clattering to the floor and roar, "Out of the way! Stand together or fall alone!"
I quickly snatch one of the cloaked figure's mysterious daggers and chuckle. This'll be fun. Then I vanish into the crowd, blending in effortlessly.
I step forward, my voice echoing with a chilling calm. Death's embrace is impartial, tread wisely. I cast silence on the area to mute any incantations or cries for help from the fallen assailant.
A cacophony erupts as Pyra's inferno consumes the gambler's table, sending dice and coins scattering like a fiery rainstorm. Patrons scream and dive for cover, the tension escalating into outright chaos. Thoradin's commanding roar rallies a few stalwart souls, who grab makeshift weapons and form a defensive line. Amidst the frenzy, Seraph's spell blankets the area in profound silence, snuffing out the assailant's final strangled cries as Wisp melds back into obscurity, now armed with an enchanted dagger.
I laugh maniacally, the flames reflecting in my eyes as I channel my magic to conjure a fiery barrier around our group. Time to turn up the heat, everyone!
I slam my shield into the ground, using it as a bulwark against the chaos, and bellow, "Form up behind me! Let's push through this inferno!"
I wobble a chandelier loose, causing it to crash down on the fleeing patrons while I whisper, "Oops, guess I should light up the room a bit."
I raise my hands, darkness pouring from me as I cast Bless on Pyra, Thoradin, and Wisp, fortifying their resolve and strength. In the dance of death, let Kelimvor's grace guide your steps.
As Pyra's fiery barrier roars to life, the tavern transforms into a battlefield of blazing tables and terrified shouts filling the air. Thoradin's shield acts as a haven, forming a stronghold for the group while they inch toward the tavern's exit. The crashing chandelier from Wisp's sly maneuver sends patrons sprawling, their panic feeding the chaos. Meanwhile, holy radiance and darkness swirl together around Seraph, his blessing imbuing his allies with a supernatural vitality as their path becomes clearer.
I smirk, raising my hand skyward as sparks fly. Let's make this unforgettable, I declare, summoning a cluster of meteors to crash down upon blocking obstacles and clear our path to the exit.
I brace myself, planting my feet firmly as I prepare to shield the group from any debris, roaring, "Keep moving! I'll hold the line!"
I deftly climb up onto a rafter above the crowd, utilizing the chaos as cover. Don't let this ruckus knock you off your feet, I call out, then toss a handful of caltrops onto the ground behind us to slow any pursuers.
I step up to Thoradin, channeling my divine energy, and cast Spirit Guardians, summoning spectral apparitions of the departed that whirl around us to fend off attackers. The souls of the lost shall guide and protect our passage.
The meteors summoned by Pyra ignite in midair, crashing down upon obstacles with explosive force, reducing tables and chairs to smoldering splinters and clearing their path with devastating precision. Thoradin stands resolute, his shield absorbing the brunt of the debris, deflecting it harmlessly away from the group. The caltrops scattered by Wisp send a few reckless pursuers tumbling to the ground, clutching their feet in pain, further delaying the chaos behind them. As Seraph's spectral guardians emerge, they weave through the tavern, their ethereal forms warding off any attackers who dare approach, their presence a chilling reminder of the power guiding them. Pyra. Thoradin. Wisp. Seraph.
Feel the burn, I shout with fervor, conjuring a searing surge of magma to flow across the floor, creating a molten moat around us to deter any who dare chase.
I raise my shield high, surveying the chaos, and shout, "Let's get out of this blasted place! Head for the door, quick!" I charge forward, leading the way through the inferno.
I leap from the rafter to latch onto a hanging tapestry, using it to swing towards the exit. Catch me if you can, you lumbering oafs! I taunt as I zip by.
I extend my hand, allowing a cold black energy to flow from my fingertips as I cast Path to the Grave on the nearest foe. You will walk the line between life and death tonight.
Pyra's molten moat sizzles across the floor, the bright orange magma hissing as it engulfs the wooden planks, forming a deadly barrier. Thoradin charges forward, his shield leading the way, smashing through what remains of the tavern's main door. Wisp's agile swing lands him gracefully outside, his mocking taunt echoing behind him. As Seraph's spell takes hold, a nearby assailant freezes in mid-lunge, their eyes widening in terror as they teeter on the brink of death, their path now illuminated by the shadowy glow of the grave.
Let the flames consume all, I exclaim, whipping my hands in a wide arc to create a blazing firewall behind us, ensuring no one follows as we make our escape.
I hold my shield firm, pushing through the smouldering debris with a grunt and bark out, "Everyone, stick close! We're almost clear!" Leading the charge to the exit.
I dart ahead, flipping up a nearby table to block part of the doorway, then wink over my shoulder, "Consider yourself tabled," as I dash towards freedom.
I softly chant, invoking Kelemvor's dread touch, and cast Inflict Wounds on any lingering threat near the exit, ensuring none obstruct our escape. Death's grip tightens and shadows claim the unworthy.
The blistering firewall roars to life, the searing heat causing patrons to recoil in horror as flames flicker menacingly against the tavern walls. Thoradin forges ahead, his indomitable spirit leading the way as he crashes through the burning wreckage of Godric's grog house. Wisp deftly maneuvers past barricades, his nimble steps ensuring the group's swift escape while his words linger like a playful echo. Behind them, Seraph's touch of death spreads like a creeping shadow, ensuring no lingering threats remain as they burst into the cool night air, the tavern now a blazing inferno at their backs.
Out of the frying pan? I laugh wildly, summoning a meteor that crashes just behind us, sealing our fiery exit with a devastating explosion.
I shove the others forward, my shield up against the searing heat, and growl, "Move your feet, or we're roast dwarf, keep going!"
I sprint ahead, ducking into a side alley and calling back, "Follow me if you want a safe route, you slow pokes," while eyeing the shadows for any hidden traps or enemies.
I surge forward, clutching my holy symbol, and invoke Mass Healing Word to mend any wounds inflicted during our escape. Let the shadows soothe your pain as we flee from this inferno.
The meteor summoned by Pyra detonates with an earth-shaking boom, the explosion sealing their fiery exit and sending shockwaves through the night air. Thoradin's shield continues to deflect stray embers as he shoves the group away from the burning wreckage. Wisp skillfully navigates the side alley, his eyes keenly scanning for hidden threats as the cries from the tavern fade into the distance. Seraph's divine magic washes over the party, healing their wounds and fortifying their resolve as they sprint toward safety, the blazing remnants of Godric's groghouse left behind them.
I love a dramatic exit, I declare with a devilish grin, igniting a trail of fire behind us as we dash through the alleyway, ensuring our path forward stays illuminated and any pursuers stay far behind.
I grunt, steadying my shield and turning to cover our rear. Keep moving forward. I'll make sure we're not followed, I shout, ready to fend off any lingering threats.
I quickly hop onto a stack of crates to get a better vantage point, then scan the surrounding buildings for any rooftops within jumping distance. Time to take the high road, everyone, I say, leaping from crate to rooftop to lead the way.
I follow Wisp's lead, chanting softly as I invoke Shield of Faith on Thoradin, creating a shimmering barrier of protection around him. Even shadows can protect. Stay vigilant.
As Pyra's trail of fire illuminates the narrow alleyway, the flickering flames casting eerie shadows on the cobblestone walls, the group races onward. Thoradin stands vigilant at the rear, his shield gleaming with a protective aura as Seraph's spell encases him in shimmering light. Wisp's agile leap takes him effortlessly onto the rooftop, his keen eyes spotting a likely escape route across the rooftops. Above, an ominous crack of thunder splits the night sky, foretelling a storm as the first drops of rain sizzle upon contact with Pyra's lingering flames.
Nothing like a storm to fuel the fire, I say excitedly, raising my hands to summon a barrage of lightning bolts that crackle through the skies, creating temporary electrified barriers to hinder any rooftop pursuers.
I brace myself, holding my shield high against the oncoming storm, and growl, "Pyra, keep the lightning under control! We need to reach the rooftops!" Then begin climbing the nearest stack of crates to follow Wisp.
I hop from rooftop to rooftop, tossing a coin high into the air with a laugh. "Catch me if you can, thunderheads," I taunt, my eyes scanning for the next leap.
I clasp my holy symbol and murmur an incantation, summoning spectral shadows to swirl around us as I cast darkness, granting us cover amidst the rooftops. Embrace the void, let it be our shield.
The lightning bolts conjured by Pyra snap and crackle through the stormy sky, creating electrified barriers that momentarily dazzle any would-be pursuers. With Thoradin keeping the rear covered in his shimmering shield and Wisp's agile form leading the way across the rooftops, the group plunges into the darkness summoned by Seraph. The inky shadows envelop them, providing perfect cover as they move swiftly and silently through the storm. Rain pours down in earnest now, dousing the fire-soaked tavern below as the adventurers' escape is masked by the night, their gritty breaths mingling with the sound of thunder rolling above.
Thunder and flames, a match made in chaos, I shout with glee, conjuring a tornado of fire and lightning to whip across the rooftops, creating an impenetrable barrier of electric inferno that ensures our ultimate escape.
I grit my teeth, hoisting myself onto the rooftop and steadying my shield. "The storm's on our side! Now move!" I shout, ready to defend against any threats as we make our way across the skyline.
"Let's disappear faster than a landlord on rent day," I call out, somersaulting over to the next rooftop while hurling a smoke bomb behind us to conceal our movements in a thick, obscuring cloud.
I raise my holy symbol, invoking Kelemvor's power, and cast Pass Without Trace on the party, shrouding us in shadows and erasing our tracks. In Twilight's embrace, let us vanish into the night.